ready to give you an amazing celebrity-inspired makeup look. This is the photo we will be referencing and the look we will be recreating. But before we jump into that, please hit the like and subscribe button below. That really helps my channel out, so I deeply appreciate it. Thank you. Let's proceed. I am going to begin today's tutorial by clipping this hair out of the way just so it does not fall down in my face. If you are wondering what on earth is that shiny thing on the side of her head, it is actually it's connected to tape, so it is a facelift, and then I'm also wearing a neck lift tape. The reason I'm being that extra today is because, as you know by now, this is a celebrity inspired tutorial, and her skin is super taut and flawless. Her brows are really arched. And when I say arched, I don't mean an arch so much within the brow, but like her brows are lifted. So I'm gonna try to mimic her features a little more on myself with this application, as you know, brows and lips and things. And in order to do that and get a relatively accurate product, I needed to manipulate mine a little. So this brow tape is actually lifting my brows. So this would probably be my brows normally, and this tape is lifting them up higher, like so. If you want a tutorial on this, I'd be happy to show you. I did not include that in today's tutorial because honestly, it's hard to do on yourself, and I feel like that would have ate up a lot of time. I'm gonna begin with this Peter Thomas Roth Moisturizer. It is the Water Drench, very hydrating. I'm just really gonna work it into my skin. Now, I did not put foundation. I did not put moisturizer on before this because I did not want to get my skin really well hydrated and then the tape not stick. And I don't want to get it on the tape though. I don't even want it near it, to be honest, just to be safe. This eye cream is from the company Bioderma, and I'm just patting it into the under eye portion, like so. As that sets, I'm going to start working on my eye. I like to prep my eyelids with concealer, and I use the NARS Creamy Concealer, and this is in shade Honey. Get a little brush, work it in. I'm really excited about today's look because it is, although there are some similarities in my general application, it is different, such as the facelift tape and the neck lift tape. This was actually a really great time to implement a facelift tape, to be honest, because in quarantine, like, I mean, y'all, my Botox is worn all the way off. It is all the way gone. So it's just keeping my skin nice and fresh looking. I'm now setting the concealer portion with some Laura Mercier powder. Today's look is very matte, so that's why I'm going in and doing so. My inspiration pick is sitting right in front of me, so hopefully I get this super accurate. If not, it'll be cute anyways, so it's fine. Alright, let's jump into eyeshadow. I'm not great at like sharing my brush info because honestly I don't know what most of them are. But this is by far one of my favorite brushes. This is the 217S, and that is synthetic. The MAC brush blending, it is a jewel. Like, it's so bomb. I forgot to tell y'all what I was working out of. This is the Morphe Nature Glow palette, and I'm just working with the shade right here. And I'm really just going to apply it to this area. Just back and forth motions. And then I'm actually gonna carry this down onto the lid right here. It's a very subtle tan bone color. I just think it'll end up transitioning really well. You could be wrong. And then I'm gonna take this white shade right here and just kind of dilute that pigment a little, because I really just want this as a blending, mediating color. On to the next. Let me go to my next inspo pick though. Hello, lovely. So it looks like she chose to keep her lid relatively light, and then she took a darker color right in here and blended it out and then into the corner. So that is what I'm going to do today. For that color, I'm gonna go into this matte KKW Beauty palette, and I'm gonna pick this tone right here. I'm gonna go start right here when I want that to dip in, and then carry it out. Now remember, darker colors are gonna push in, so I'm trying to like make this appear as if it's more sunken. So I'm really gonna work that product in. So her bone structure is definitely more defined than mine. It must be nice. And also to be a billionaire, maybe one day. I really don't understand why so many people hate in the Kardashian Jenner family. I think a lot of y'all are just haters. Don't do it. Don't be a hater. Congratulations. It's actually one thing that really drives me crazy. Womanhood, it's such an empowering thing. And I just cannot stand when I see women being super petty and like breaking people down. I feel like it is such an immature move. I feel like today there's just so much information and news out there, and there's so much evidence that proves hate is never the answer. So stop being petty, stop being internet trolls, and just stop. This shade is about to go on the underneath portion of my eye, like right here. Alright, and I want to make sure on these corners that I do bring it out pretty far. I'm going to clean up with my foundation and everything after the fact, but I really do not want to have like a break in my eyeshadow and it be my natural and then it be foundation. And I'm really going to try to create the illusion of a lift when I carve this area out with foundation and concealer after the fact. This look, although neutral tones and stuff, definitely has more of a cooler undertone. So I'm going to incorporate some cooler tones into my eyeshadow. Right now this is transitioning relatively warm. I don't want it warm, obviously. Once I put my foundation on, it's not going to look warm in comparison because this right here, I have a lot of redness. So that looks a lot warmer than it actually is, being so close to that. I'm going to take a little bit of this NARS blush and just kind of mix it into my eyeshadow a little to give a cooler pink tone. Very subtle effect. So I just put it right here in the middle of my lid and then I'm working it into the crease. I feel like that's going to help the eyeshadow to have a little bit cooler of an effect. I don't know if she actually did that, but that's just kind of like what my eyes see a little bit. So we're all artists, we see things differently. The beauty. Moving on to eyeliner, I have one side done and now I'm going to execute this one for y'all. I'm using the MAC 210 brush and this black pot eyeliner. I peeled the sticker off so I don't even remember what brand this is exactly. Sorry. And I'm going to take this little piece of paper and just kind of twist that brush in there to try to get a super thin point so that the end of my wing eyeliner is not super thick. Goal. Prayer. With this eyeliner, you do not want to go below the corner of your eye. So if that is easier, you could always just start there. Then I'm going to check the height of that line as I go. So I'm still a little bit below. And I'm basically just mapping out my wing. I think we are at a safe point for me to fully execute the application. I'm going to pull this skin a little tighter. Work that up and then I'm going to come down and kind of make a super baby triangle. So instead of coming down to that point, I came down out a little bit to form the tiniest triangle. I'm going to now pack in a little bit more product. So taking the Q-tip and just dragging it out kind of helps to buffer out the point while also making it a little thinner right at the tip. For the lash line itself, I'm actually going to try really hard to get just in the lash line. Her eyes are clearly lined with black, but it's super, super thin. And honestly, I think she has a little bit more of an eyelid base than me. So I need to be super careful to not get it too thick because when I look straight ahead, it's going to look black on my lids. And that is not today's inspo. Waterproof Lancome mascara, and I'm just applying that to the bottom lashes. I'm not putting any eyeliner down here because I did not see any in the photograph. And I'm going to use a little spoolie and just get that excess product off and make sure it doesn't look too clumpy and thick. Her bottom lashes look super natural. Her lashes are obviously noticeable. I have no idea what kind she used, so I'm going to just try to create my own concoction that hopefully turns out like hers. This is the Swede Lashes No Lash Lash by Nikki Makeup, and I love these lovely lashes. Love them, love them, love them. Literally the best lashes ever. So lightweight, like insanely light, and they look beautiful. The way these lashes are set up, they start with short, medium, and then they go to long. So I'm going to start with the medium right here, and I'm going to do 2 medium, which I already have 1 applied, and then I'm going to finish with the long on the outer corner. Pick up the lash and then I just dip it into glue For the adhesive, I am going with the Sweet Clear White Adhesive for strip lashes. I'm just going to set that right on the lash line. I'm trying to leave a gap in between the lashes because I feel like in that photo they're very piecey lashes. They're not like a super full set. So I've done my 2 shortest, and then I'm gonna go for the added length. Pick that up, dip in adhesive, drop it low, girl, drop it low. Also in the photo, I noticed that her lashes don't go below the eyeliner mark. The wing is super noticeable for that reason. Therefore, I am not gonna carry these lashes all the way out to the corner. You can manipulate them too as the adhesive dries. If you want them to go up more, you can just kind of like gently push on it, be patient, hold it. While we wait for that adhesive to dry to put mascara on, we're gonna work on these brows. I personally have been going for more of a bushy natural brow thanks to recent inspo from Nikki Makeup. She's amazing. But Kylie's brows are like more of a line, more defined. She doesn't have any extra hair like pointing out, so we're gonna copy that. To make note, the beginning of my brow was significantly thicker than hers, so I'm going to try really hard to not enhance that and make it look like hers. Say a prayer. Going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in soft brown. I'm going to try to stay within my brow hair so I can make this as thin as possible for my natural brow. Her brows are pretty much the same width all the way through until you get to the end. I'm adding the inner corner last because I want the least amount of product on there just to kind of buff it out because hers kind of fade a little bit right here. We can always go back and adjust and pick up some of that excess product if we need to at the end, but I feel like that kind of takes some of the work away for us. You'll see this down here though? We're gonna have to like try to buff that in, and I am not shaving off my brow for this tutorial, but that hair, what are we gonna do with that? Well, I just tweezed that out and you cannot ever question my level of commitment. That is all I'm saying. For today's foundation, I went with a concoction. So I mixed some of the M2.5 NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation with, what was the other one I mixed? A drop of this Makeup Forever HD R520 just to add a little bit more red. And then I added, to balance out, obviously, darkness to lightness, the L2 Mont Blanc from the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. Thought I was going to try something new to get like closer to her foundation, even though that's not my color. And then it just went sideways, so then I just started mixing stuff so I didn't waste product, honestly. Honest to God, that's what happened. I do love the NARS Longwear Foundation. I also love the Makeup Forever. I just feel like the NARS has more coverage. And this is a full coverage, flawless, looks like a lot of powder to me in the inspo. So I'm going full coverage. The Makeup Forever is buildable, but like I said, I just feel like I get a little bit more coverage with the NARS Longwear. And where the tape is, you just want to cover that. So I'm just patting foundation on top of that. Just going in and pressing out any brush stroke lines that I can see. For concealer, I'm using the NARS Honey, the same thing I used on my eyelid for eyelid prep. I go on my nose and then come down, skip my nostril region. I apply that with a concealer brush, but I'm going to go back with a fluffy blending brush and just really try to work that into the skin. Make sure I don't have too much product there. I'm going to continue in the middle of the brows and bring that down the bridge of my nose. Take that excess concealer that's living on the brush and work it into this region. Now moving on to the Laura Mercier powder, and I'm just very gently pressing. This is the MAC 190 brush, and I have patted the product onto my brush, and then to get any excess off, because the first layer of powder, I want it to be really thin. And then I'm gonna go and bake a whole lot of powder on top. I'm gonna get really close to my brow right there because personally for some reason, I just get a lot of oil right there. And in the middle of this big old forehead, but we ain't gonna talk about that. I'm now gonna go in with a lot of powder. There's no such thing as too much powder, for this look at least. After we have the powder placed here in the T-zone, chin, moving on to blush. And this is a really, really beautiful pink. I feel like it matches perfectly with the photo inspo. This is, again, the NARS in shade Desire. I pulled it out so I can actually read the name. I feel like Kylie's signature blush, at least to me, always looks real pink, so I'm packing that blush in. Kylie's makeup artist is known for adding a little pop of blush onto her nose, so I'm gonna do that. I don't know if they did that in this photo, but here's to hoping. Moving on to bronzer, the Bobbi Brown right here in shade medium. Taking that Anastasia Beverly Hills A22 brush again and working that bronzer into the bottom portion of my cheeks to really push that in to help this bone look like it is coming out more. Enhance the cheekbones, girls. Pressing that powder into the temple. That tape is right there, so I just don't want to manipulate it too much. My forehead is definitely bigger than hers, so I'm going to bronze the mess out of it. Work that hairline, swipe back and forth, and just kind of blend it down softly. Taking that bronzer and really just working to build a shape right there to give me more of a cut, and then bringing it underneath the jawline. And then I like to just buff down. For the nose portion, I'm going to use a little bit more of a detailed brush, and we're going to create a little bit more of a defined nose like she has. The tip of my nose, I think, is a little more round than hers. Like, I feel like I have this little ball on the end of my nose, so I'm going to work on straightening that out. The product has been applied to the nose portion, and I cannot leave it like that, obviously. So I'm going to take the MAC 217S blending brush and really buff out that line. I'm just going up and down. That way it stays pretty much in place. And then I'm going to blend out the underneath too. It's definitely looking a little more like hers. Bronze just a little right here. Add a little bit more depth right there where the nose connects to that brow bone. Again, I just feel like hers is more defined than mine. Adding the bronzer around my lip to create a shadow to make it look like it's a little bigger, and I just got a little too crazy with it. You don't want to look like you have a mustache though. Before we move on to lips and mascara, I'm going to take a little sponge, grab some of that powder, and do that. Snatch it. For the lip liner, I'm going in with the KKW Beauty 90s Glam, and I'm going to try to manipulate the shape of my mouth a little. I feel like her bottom lip is obviously full, but the top is more so full in the middle, and then it kind of fades out to the side. So I'm going to go above my natural lip line up top, and then blend it into my natural. Add a little darker to the corners. For the lightest shade, I'm going to use the Bear from Kylie Cosmetics. And I'm going to drop a hint of the color Kylie from Kylie Cosmetics. And then blend the colors together and buff it all out. Really fusing those colors together. Blended a little bit more of the 90s liner on the outside. And then I'm just going to dust this excess powder out of the way. I personally like to do a super thin layer all over the face. And I'm going to go back and add a tiny bit of this color right here. This is one of the MAC samples of their powders, and I like to just add it right here in this tiny triangle section, because this has a little bit of pigment. So where the Laura Mercier is like, I just feel like more of a translucent, but sometimes in photos it comes off pretty white. This adds more of a natural effect to the bronzer, especially when a flash, to the powder, especially when a flash is involved. I'm going to do a tiny bit of highlighter right here on the high points of my cheek, on my chin, because hers comes out further than mine. And this highlighter is the H102 Makeup Forever. Taking the same mascara we used earlier by Lancome, MAC Fix Plus Spray. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also share with a friend because sharing is caring. Thank you so much for your support today, and I look forward to seeing you here next time. Later.